Hello Hampton Primary, welcome back to yoga. My name's Fiona. Today's class is focusing on balance. I love balances. They have so many benefits. They keep us really strong and stable through our body when we practice them. They're also fabulous for keeping us focused, keeping us mindful and concentrating on our practice so we're not thinking about anything else that's going on in the world. They can be quite challenging though, so if you find yourself toppling out of the poses when we go through today's class, don't beat yourself up, don't get too frustrated and cross at yourself. Just see it as an opportunity for a fresh start and have another go. So, well, let's start like we always do. We'll turn our palms up towards the sky, take a deep breath in, and a long, smooth breath out. Bring your hands back down in front of your chest. 2 more like that. Big breath. Slow releasing exhale. And last one, reach up as tall as you can. And exhale, draw your hands down in front of your chest and close your eyes. Bow forward. And together we say namaste. Slow rise back up and blinking open your eyes. We're going to begin our balance focused class by preparing our feet and our toes and our ankles, which are the foundation of our standing balances. Our toes get so crushed up in our shoes all the time, so it's nice to create a little bit of space and prepare them in our yoga practice. So what we're going to do is bring each finger in between each toe and then hold on to your ankle or your foot. You can go over or under, it doesn't matter too much, and then give your toes a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of a massage, and then we're going to rock them back and forth, and then maybe make a few circles one way and then the other. So now you're starting to warm up your ankle a little bit as well. And then gently release, and we'll do that on the other side. So taking hold of your other foot and then getting your fingers in between each toe. It might feel a bit funny, it might not be something you do very often. And then a bit of a squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then back and forth with the toes. And then some circles. One way and then the other. You might get a few clicks and pops in your ankles and toe joints. Lovely. And then releasing that foot down. So we'll come to a cross legs position. And our first balance today is going to be balancing on our bottoms. So see if you can bring your hands up into a stop spine position and stay up nice and tall through your body, nice along the spine, and have a go at lifting your legs and changing which leg is crossed in front. So just moving side to side, a little hover for the legs, try and keep your chest lifted, and then crossing the other way. So if you find that it's too difficult, you can use the support of your fingertips on the mat. Otherwise, hands up, stop sign position, and take a few more. So swapping which leg goes in front each time. Balancing on your bottom. One more. Good. And then giving your arms a break. So we'll move into a kneeling position. As always, you can tuck your toes under to give your toes a little bit more of a stretch and stretch out the back of your feet, or if that feels uncomfortable, sit down onto the tops of your feet. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, link your thumbs together, get as tall as you can, and show me that bright twinkly star overhead, glowing bright. And from here, let's start making little circles with our star hands overhead. So you can make them small circles like me, or you could make them bigger circles. One more. And then just pause there. Take a breath in and reverse your circle, so make your circle go round the other way. Maybe these ones can be a bit bigger because you're starting to warm up, but just take it at your pace. Lovely, and then pause there. Release your hands down, give your arms a bit of a break, and we'll move over into tabletop position. Hands stacking under the shoulders, knees hip width apart, and we'll take 3 rounds of cat and cow, stretching the eyes up, stretching the front of the throat, and then exhale, rounding your chin in towards your chest. Inhale for cow pose, sound effects always welcome. Exhale, cat pose. Last one, inhale. And exhale, scoop your belly in, cat pose. And coming back to a flat spine. So we'll do a balance here as well. Let's have a go at stretching our right leg nice and long, and then see whether you can stretch your opposite arm out. So left hand is extended forward, right leg, and if this is enough for you, stay here. If you want to have a little bit of a challenge, see whether you can now round your elbow in to meet your knee, and then stretch out. So 2 more like that, round in, and stretch out. Last one, round in, and stretch out, and then releasing your hand and your knee down. So let's have a go on the other side. Start off by stretching your left leg back, find your balance there in your center, and then reach your right arm long. Notice how this feels. It might feel a little different on the other side. And then if you're feeling stable and ready, see whether you can curl in when you exhale and stretch out when you inhale. 2 more. Round in, stretch out, and round in, and stretch out. Releasing your hands and your knee down, and then stretch back. 3 breaths in child's pose. Gently coming back up. And we'll do a balanced breathing. So you can have cross legs or you can stay kneeling like I am. Hands somewhere on the tops of the legs. You can have palms facing up if you like, or palms facing down. Close your eyes. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. And then a releasing sigh out through your mouth. And then come back to natural breathing. And we're going to inhale together for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little pause and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pause. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pause and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time through. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Just notice how you feel. And then gently blinking open your eyes. So an equal breath in and out, very balancing. You can do this one anytime, morning, afternoon or evening. Really easy to remember as well, just 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe you can give that a try some other time. Okay, we'll move into some sun salutations now. Of course, I've put a bit of a balance twist on them, so let's get started. Up to the top of the mat. Standing up nice and tall. And today, instead of just stretching our arms up, let's lift our heels and balance on our toes as we stretch up towards the sun. Touch your palms together, and then as you exhale, dive forward and see whether you can get your heels to touch down when your fingertips touch down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, hands up, lift your heels, so balance on your toes, you don't have to go too high. And then exhale, dive your hands down and pretend there's a pool of beautiful blue water underneath. Good. From here, let's take fingertips down onto the mat or flat palms, and then lift your right leg and extend your right leg back. So you're balancing just on one foot. Take one more breath, and then step all the way back. And come into a plank position. Hold here, balancing just on the hands and the tips of your toes. And then come all the way down onto your belly. So you can lower in a nice straight line, or you can gently lower the knees and then come down from there. Sweep your hands behind your body, and we're going to move into a superhero back bend. So we'll be balancing on our tummy. Inhale and lift your arms and your legs up off the mat. So pretend you're flying through the air. Maybe you can pretend to be your favourite superhero. And slowly lower. Hands back alongside your rib cage. Tuck your toes and engage your belly as we push back into downward facing dog. Take a breath. And then we'll walk back up to the top of the mat. And slowly rolling up, and then we're going to come up onto our tippy toes. So lifting the heels, challenging your balance, balance on tippy toes. And then dive down into that pool of water below. Heels touch down. This time fingertips down on the mat. Left leg stretches back for a balance. So just balancing on one leg. And then step all the way back. And then the front leg comes back into plank pose. So holding here, just take a breath or two. If you need to lower to the knees, you can. And then we're going to lower our belly down onto the mat so that we can turn ourselves into superheroes. Stretch your arms back and fly. Looking down on the world below you as you fly through the sky, through the clouds. And then lowering back down. Tuck your toes under and push yourself back. Downward dog. Lovely. Walking all the way back up to the top of the mat. And just taking a slow, regular roll up to standing. And then bring your hands to your heart. So we'll move on to some more balances now. Let's start off by just lifting one knee into the chest and then swapping it over. So just a quick balance, one foot at a time. And it doesn't matter if you can't get your knee all the way into the chest, just bring it up as far as you can. One more each way. And then take a pause. And what we're going to do, and if you need to support yourself on a wall or a door frame near you, you can, is bring your right foot into your right hand and just stretch out the front of your thigh. So you might get the wobbles, you can even put your other arm out to help you balance. One more breath. And then try not to let your foot flop down onto the floor. See if you can take a big froggy leg and step all the way back into warrior two position. Stretch your arms out, nice strong arms, nice big bend in your front knee. And today we're going to add a balance to our warrior two position. So, the same thing, see if you can lift your heel and then lower your heel. So you might feel a bit of a stretch here in spots that you don't normally get a stretch. Maybe on the inside of the thigh. Lift and lower. One more time. Lift and lower. Good. Bring your arms up overhead. Take hold of your front wrist and just gently reverse back. Good. Slowly coming back into center and releasing your arms. Bring your palms together in front of your chest. This time, instead of balancing on our toes, we're going to balance on our front heel. So bending the back knee, straightening the front leg and balance on your heel. I'll show you. Stretching back, balancing on your heel, lifting your toes, and then back to warrior two legs. Let's do that 2 more times. Stretch back, lift your toes, balance on your heel, and then re-bend in your front knee. Last one. Stretch back, and then back to those warrior two legs. Good. Turning your toes towards me. And what we'll do is with the right leg, let's keep that pointing roughly to the corner of your mat. We're going to bring our hands onto our hips and keeping our belly firm, a little bend so you're flexing your hips, and just see if you can bring your knee in and then tap back. Knee in, tap back. So just moving slow and controlled. And then if this is feeling easy, maybe you can introduce some arms. See how it goes. Couple more. And then we'll take a break. Have a little wiggle out if you need. And let's do that same thing on the other side. So it's almost like you're starting a running race. So you're taking this time your left foot to the corner of your mat, and then we're just taking that little tip in the hips, and then keeping hands on the hips, just get yourself started, tapping back, and then knee into the chest. And your balance can be different from one side to the other. If this is feeling okay, then you can introduce the arms. Just keep breathing, and it helps with the balance if you just focus on something ahead of you. Maybe a knot of wood on the floor, or a colour in your carpet. So just a couple more like this. Good. And then standing your way back up. Give the hips a little bit of a wiggle out. And then we'll step up to the other side of the mat and do the same thing on the other side. So starting off just by lifting the knees into the chest. Bit of a quicker balance, one leg and then the other. One more each way. And then this time we need to take the left foot into the hand. So just remember, you can hold onto the wall or a door frame, or even just use your right arm to counterbalance. Take a hold of your foot, and you might feel the stretch in the front of your thigh. One more big breath. And then remember, we want to try and not drop our foot. See if you can take that big froggy leg step out into warrior two. So we want that nice space between our 2 feet, a deep bend in the front knee, and then extending the arms out. Hips directly underneath the shoulders, so you don't want to have your shoulders too far ahead of your hips. And then adding the balance, lifting your heel, and then lowering your heel. 2 more. Lift and lower. Notice where you feel the stretch with this one. Lift and lower. Come back to stillness in the legs. Reach the arms up overhead and take hold of your front wrist. And then gently reversing back. Feel the stretch through your side body. Hands back out. Warrior two. And then hands in towards your heart. So remember this time, instead of balancing on our toes, we're going to balance on the heel. So bend the back leg, straighten the front leg. Stretching back. And then back to the front knee bending. Two more like this. Stretch back. And front knee bends. One more. Stretch back. And the front knee bends. Good. Turning the toes in towards me. Okay, this time through, we're going to reach arms out. In to leave the hands behind your back. Stretch the chest up towards the sky. And then exhale, folding forward, wide-legged forward fold. So you're like a upside down V. And then releasing your arms underneath your shoulders. Maybe just wiggling the heels in towards your body. And from here, see if you can sit down into a yogi squat. So try and keep your spine up nice and tall. Try not to hunch forward. And then maybe you can even connect your elbows to the insides of your knees. Stay here if this is enough for you. Otherwise, we've got a bit of a fun and challenging hand balance to do today as well. This one's called crow pose. You might have seen this one before. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So with crow pose, we need to scoop our belly in and bring our hands down a little bit away from our body. So around about shoulder width apart. Really spread your fingers out so you give yourself more surface area to balance on. Then you're going to lift up onto your toes and just begin to feel what it's like to have the weight of your body in your hands. You might from here just stay down on one toe and lift one foot up off the mat and then release it down and then do the same on the other side. Now a really good trick with crow pose is to make sure that you don't let your head dip down. You don't want to look back at your feet. You want to look forward of your hands. So you look forward so you don't topple forward. So let's go. One toe and then the other toe. Feeling the weight of your body in your hands. And then you can take a little break. If you wanted to have a go at seeing whether both feet can come up off the mat, give that a go. So again, nice flat palms. Look forward, not down, and then maybe one toe can hover off the mat, and then maybe the other one. Keep scooping your belly in, and then when you've had enough, release. So that's a tricky one. Really good idea to take it nice and slowly, feeling what it's like to have the weight of your body in your hands, and just start by going one foot to the other. When you're feeling strong going one side to the other, maybe you can just get even a millimetre of both toes up off the mat. Have a try. Okay. Now, a standing balance. One career that requires heaps and heaps of balance is for dancers. Ballet dancers, all types of dancers need a lot of balance. So there's a yoga pose called dancer's pose. What we do for this one is take again our foot into our hand. So we did a little warm up for this earlier. So we start in a quad stretch. And if this is enough for you, you can definitely stay here. If your balance is feeling on point today, you're going to lift your other hand up, take a breath in, and then tip at the hips and come into dancer's pose. And then slowly come back. and releasing your foot and your arm down with control. So same thing on the other side. If you need a little wiggle out, that's fine. Then we're going to take the foot into the hand. Opposite arm comes up into the air. And then we're just tipping the hips forward, moving into our dancer. Good, so I'll go on the side so you can see how it looks. Good, and then gently reversing back and giving your hips a little wiggle out if you need. Okay, after all that hard work, let's take it down to the mat to cool down. Sitting down onto your bottom and then rolling your way down onto the mat. Give your knees a squeeze in. Gentle massage on the back of your body, little rock side to side. And then release your left foot down onto the mat and bring your right ankle over the top of your left knee. So you almost have like a reverse figure four shape of your legs. And then stay like this. If you feel a nice stretch on the outside of your right hip here, just stay. If you wanted a little bit of extra stretch, maybe you're going to hug your legs in towards your chest. You can even link your hands around your legs. All of the balancing on one leg really gets into the area around your bottom, really strengthens it. And it's good to give it a little bit of a stretch out at the end of your practice. Good, gently release down, and we'll swap that over. So right foot stays down on the mat, the left ankle comes over the top of the right knee, and then stay here if this is feeling like enough. Otherwise, drawing your legs in, and then maybe you can hug your fingers around your legs. Just get into a position where it feels comfortable. And when you feel that nice stretch sensation, it doesn't have to be too intense. Just breathe. And then slowly unravel the legs, take your time. We're going to bring the arms out at shoulder height. And then let's bring the knees together and over to the right side. Try and keep the backs of your shoulders pressing down onto the mat so that you're getting a nice spinal twist. You can even look to the left hand, so look in the opposite direction of the knees, and that will give you a little more twist through your spine. But if that hurts your neck, just keep your head and neck in a position where it feels comfortable. Good, and then go over the other way. So we'll drop the knees gently down to the left. And just wiggle into a position where you feel the stretch through your spine. Shoulders stay back on your mat. And then maybe you can look over towards the right hand if you want a little bit more stretch. See how it feels for your neck. Deep breaths, really fill up your lungs. And then slowly back into centre. Stretch your legs out long. Turn your palms to the sky. Wriggle your shoulders into a position where you feel comfortable. And then close your eyes. It's time for relaxation. So to work in with our balance class, I thought we would repeat the counting breath that we did at the start of class. So as you inhale, you can see the numbers 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little pause and exhale, and then see the numbers float into your head as you breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's keep going. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Stay here for another 3 breaths. Notice how relaxed and free of tension your balanced body feels. If you wanted to stay in relaxation, you could definitely pause the video now. But if you're ready to complete and finalize your practice, just gently bending the knees, roll to your favorite side and use the hands to bring you back up. Come back up into a seated position. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. I hope you enjoyed trying out the balances today. Remember, you can give them a go anytime, and don't get too frustrated with yourself if they don't work out. Balances are definitely one of those scenarios where practice, practice, practice will really help you improve them. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you on the mat again soon. Namaste.